What's going on, guys? Matt Weik, Weik Fitness. Thank you so much for tuning into another podcast episode. So today, what I want to talk about is something that happened last week, and it set the internet on fire. You would have thought that the world was coming to an end. What was it? Instagram and Facebook were down. Now, some of you might be laughing, saying, I can't believe people were so bent out of shape about this. Other people, literally, it was like their hair was on fire. They were running around in a panic, wondering what the heck they were going to do. So I think we need to take a step back. Now, I'm dating myself, but I'm old enough to know when dial-up internet, AOL with the that was actually in play. And it took forever to find anything on the internet because everything was so slow. Now, with social media, news gets out instantly. It is so fast, which is both good and bad. The problem with social media these days is that people put their entire life on these platforms. So they post selfies all day, every day on Instagram, which, cool. If that's your thing, more power to you. Not my thing, but to each his or her own. So my problem comes when people put social media ahead of real life. What I mean by that is they're creating this persona. And it's almost turning into a business if you look at influencers. And if you listen to the Fit Business podcast show that I do with Jimmy Mentis, that was actually the topic that we discussed on Thursday. And if you went to Twitter, because that was the only social media platform that was working, I think it happened on, I think it was Wednesday of last week when Facebook and Instagram were down. And Twitter was the only thing that was working. So Twitter was blowing up with hashtag Facebook shut down, Facebook down, Instagram down, all of these different hashtags. And Twitter, I'm sure they were sitting there laughing because everyone thought Twitter is so boring. It makes engagement and communicating with people difficult as compared to Facebook, or you don't get as much engagement as you would on something like a platform like Instagram. But, the interesting thing is, if social media were to go away, we would have so many people who would disappear because their entire life, their personal brand is on social media. Look at all of these fitness influencers who they grab the latest and greatest product and they're going, oh, hey, you should try this product. It's really good. And then they get a check in the mail. What are they going to do? Most of them really don't have any skills whatsoever, nor do they have a job to even fall back on. So when the internet disappears or social media disappears, what's going to happen if you don't have a backup plan? So all of these people for social media were going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I can't make a post. I can't put on this sponsored post. I can't talk about this product that I'm supposed to get paid for. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? You have no fallback. It's like the world is ending for them. And that's a shame. And it's funny because people are joking saying, well, I guess people are going to have to start shopping at brick and mortar locations if something happens to the internet or social media goes down for good or whatever the case may be. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think so many people these days are living fake lives. They're fabricating everything that's going on. If you look at some of these people on social media, they'll take a picture, they'll be holding the steering wheel of a Lambo. Bro, you don't own a Lambo. You literally drove to a lot, you sat in the car, you snapped your selfie, and you posted it on social media. It's fake. You see all these people with stacks of money, right? Flaunting it on social media. Dude, you don't have money. Guess what? You probably pulled everything out of your savings. It's a $100 bill on top with a whole bunch of ones, and you're waving it around like you're rich, like you're flaunting it, you're flexing. It's a facade. It's fake. okay? So many people believe everything that goes on social media that literally there are days where I just wish social media would go away. Now, granted, me personally, I have social media accounts, as do probably you. I have a personal Facebook page. I have a business Facebook page. I have a business Instagram page, a business Twitter page. Obviously, I have YouTube. I have different podcasts, like, probably if you're listening to this, what you're listening to it on. And then I have a personal LinkedIn page. Now, do I use all of those platforms? Absolutely. So, am I talking out of both sides of my mouth? Yeah, kinda. I don't see myself as a influencer, I guess you can say. I run businesses. I have something to fall back on if social media were to go away. Most people, social media is their only means of income. They review products on social media. They give product plugs on social media. They utilize something like they monetize these platforms like YouTube. They have the ads run before the show or in the middle of a video, whatever the case may be. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's a business. There's nothing wrong with that. But the fact of the matter is, I'm using social media to help my business. Not only that, but what I do for a living is I create content. So like all of this stuff you see back here, this is all going away. Most of these magazines that you're seeing behind me don't even exist today. There are probably 2 or 3 of all of these. Now, this isn't the whole wall on the screen, but there's more going this way. So, I mean, I've been in probably 100 different issues of magazines. Of that, probably, I can't tell you how many different individual, magazines, just not multiple issues of them. But the fact of the matter is, everything is going social these days. Everything is going digital. If you run a business, you have to use social media. And here's why. It's free. Now, granted, you could spend money on Facebook ads, Instagram ads. You could run ads and sponsored, posts on things like Instagram. LinkedIn is doing different ads now. You can do whatever you want. Google ads, everything. Everything is digital these days. People don't want to spend the money on TV ads, too expensive. People don't want to spend money on radio ads because nobody listens to them anymore. So what do? You go to social media. It's literally the world that we live in these days. Everything is social. Everything is digital. Whether that's good or bad is in the eye of the beholder. I can't make that decision for you. Only you can say if it's good or bad in your specific instance. But what I want people to realize is that when it comes to technology, technology will fail. It's inevitable. Your laptop fails. My laptop, when was it? A month ago, stopped booting. It would load and it would just completely stop. Literally, it was like my life was frozen in time. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I have my life on here. I have my business on here. Like, what am I supposed to do? Luckily, I got my laptop over to some IT guys. They took care of it. Yeah, it took about a week. But luckily, I had other technology that I could use to run my business. I had my iPhone. I had the iPads. Multiple iPads. I'm weird. I have multiple iPads. So I was able to continue to run my life and run my business. But, at the end of the day, we rely so heavily on these things that, we almost seem to lose touch with individuals these days. We lose touch of picking up the phone and saying, hey man, haven't talked to you for a while. How are things going? Instead, we send them a text. We send them a message or a DM on Facebook. Everything is digitalized. Nobody wants to walk up to a neighbor and say, hey man, how you doing? Everything is through social media. Everything is digital. Good, bad, indifferent, Only you can figure that out. But the main gist of what I want to say today is, we take so much for granted. And yes, social media, they're free platforms to use however you want. Marketing, advertising, promotion, just keeping in touch with friends. You can do whatever you want to an extent on social media. So I just want everyone to take a step back, think about their life. Are you so, I don't even know if this is a word, digitalized? I don't know. Look it up. Let me know in the comments. Where everything that we do in our life is online somewhere. That we're losing touch with that personal connection that we have with people. If you have a business, it means the world to your customers if you go out and you knock on the door. Say, hey, John, let's go out to lunch. Let's sit down, let's chat. Or you stop into an account and say, hey, man, how are my products doing for you? What can I do to help you? Versus sending a text. Hey, Bill, I saw last month was a little slow for sales. What can I do to help? If you actually show up and show that you care, that's going to go way further than anything that you would do digitally. And I think I might actually touch on this in another episode. Just how businesses are losing touch with the consumer because everything is literally going digital. You're not stopping in to see what your set looks like. You're not going in to help with the merchandising. You're not going in to help with product education. Very few brands are doing that these days because a lot of these brands are getting rid of their sales team. And they're having people sit behind a desk on their computer and they pick up the phone and that's all they do. There's no personal connection going back and forth between brands, manufacturers, and their customers. But that's really all I have today. Last week, maybe the world was on fire on Wednesday for you. You didn't know what to do. You couldn't post anything. You couldn't like anything. You couldn't engage with anything. At the end of the day, what does it really matter? Unless you're a business that you live off of social media, it's the only way that you can make a living. I don't see Wednesdays being a big deal. In fact, I think Facebook and Instagram being down on Wednesday probably made you connect more with the people around you because you didn't have your face buried in your device. That's all I got for today. I hope you got at least a little bit of value out of this. I guess you could call it somewhat of a rant. But thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, Fit Business, myself, Jimmy Mentis, every Thursday, shows dropping at noon. Follow on Facebook. We have a group, Fit Business. Also, Weik Fitness is on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Feel free to drop us a like, a follow, a request, send us a DM, ask us a question, communicate with us. Leave us some feedback. What do you like about these videos? What do you hate about these videos? If you say that you hate looking at me now on YouTube because I'm finally recording video, I completely understand. I wouldn't want to look at me either. That's why I'm looking at the camera and not down at my screen because it would probably drive me nuts. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with me. Hope you guys got some value. Hope you're having an amazing week so far. And I hope to catch you guys on the next episode.